Okay, so let me just send the links. Copy this. So just waiting for my friends to join, and then we can start the session on. क्या
लंच का कितने आधा घंटा लंच का
चले जाए. Oh, I've got a new subscriber. That's Raghavan himself. That's so nice. Can you send me the link? I've already sent you the link, dude. There is one viewer. So there are 2 viewers now. Now there is 1 viewer. Let me invite you to this session. Hey Raghavan, so you have joined. So let's
Who is the
begin
third
the
person?
session.
Who is the third person?
Who's the third person? You can see 3 viewers. Oh, 3 viewers are there. Let me send one link. The ones who. Oh, 3 viewers are there. Let me send. Hey, why it is repeating everything? So let's go. The ones who.
Is my network not responding well? What is going in the background, man?
I think it's repeating all the things.
Yeah. Why?
I have no idea. Okay, so let us begin by Home Assistant itself. I think it's right, repeating all the things.
Yeah. Can you reinitiate?
I have no idea. You want me to reinitiate that? Let us begin by Home Assistant itself, right?
Yeah. Can you reinitiate?
Okay, wait. Let me try to share my screen. I think this would rectify the problem because it's flipping the screens from my side to your side, right? So let me just do that. Okay, wait. Let me try to share my screen. I think this will rectify the problem. It's flipping the screen from my side to your side, right? So, let me try. Okay, wait. Let me try to share my screen. I think this will rectify the problem.
Why it's echoing, man?
Just stop for 2 minutes.
Stop the session and try to. Why it's echoing, man?
Just stop for 2 minutes.
Stop the session and try to. Why it's echoing, man?
Have you opened that for 2 times?
Let me check.
It's okay. I think nobody's speaking now.
Hey, hi, Shashank.
Hey, hi.
Yeah, it's now. Actually,
So,
I have opened a live session on the YouTube, and that's why it was happening. Okay. Anyway.
yes, that's why I was just thinking of that you must have opened 2 sessions. So I think we have completed the installation of Home Assistant on your Raspberry Pi, and then I think we will go and see that how to run the Raspberry Pi, how to run Home Assistant while booting up, right? And before that, let us check it is working or not. So let me clear the screen. We'll enter the virtual environment. So it will be source. It should be bin, then activate. No, just check. So it's source bin activate. We'll just run the virtual. Go to the home directory and then get this command.
What is for source bin activate?
So for source bin activate, we just activate the virtual environment, right? So when virtual environment is being activated, the Python virtual environment which is being activated, then we'll just go into that and we'll start off our as bin. So it says sudo super user. Let us go to this user first. Let me clear the screen. Okay, so we'll go to this directory. And now I think we should do this. Yes, so we have not changed the user. That was the problem which we were seeing over there.
What
So,
I didn't get you. Can you repeat? Can you?
Okay, actually, previously we were working with the Pi user, right? Now it is Home Assistant. The user is Home Assistant. So we have to switch to the Home Assistant user.
And how did you do that?
So you can just fill in the command. So this says sudo su. Su means substitute user. It will substitute the user to Home Assistant, right?
Okay.
So you can use this command and then you can switch to the Home Assistant user, or you can also log in via Home Assistant user. So there are 2 possibilities which can be done. Then no need to like install the virtual environment again. Just go and start the source bin activate.
Okay.
And as you can see, as I've already told you that Home Assistant, if you can see Home Assistant in the beginning,
it means virtual environment.
Yeah, it means virtual environment. And then we have to give it has, and it will start our Home Assistant server. So let's just wait for 2 minutes. It will just start the Home Assistant. And we can see now it is configuring everything.
So is it mentioned somewhere? Okay, no problem. So Shashank, before like every time we'll have to start this Home Assistant. So can we
That is why. That
start
is
with?
why. That is why I was saying that we are going to do one thing more. We'll just start Home Assistant when we boot up the machine, right?
Yeah.
So, and before that, let's check that if this is working fine. So let me just log into the port which you have done forwarding. So it was, can you just repeat the web URL tech?
Yeah, team team5.ddns
team5.ddns.net.
then :8123.
Okay, let me check if this is working. Oh wow, so we can see that Home Assistant has been installed and it's just booting. Raghavan, can you open this Home Assistant on your side, like if it is working fine for you?
Let me check.
Yeah, you can also
Okay.
check that. Given your local IP, I think that was 113, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me it's loading. Shall I try with the team5 one?
Try it by team5 one because it's not loading for me. If it is loading up, then we can move ahead with.
Yeah, for you, I think
like
you should refresh it.
booting
It
up.
should work.
Oh yeah, so it's there. It's there. It's there. I can see
Okay,
it now.
cool.
Let's go and start that. Let's. Okay. Now I don't know where exactly it was given. Somewhere in the documentation only to start Home Assistant on startup. So we'll just Google it.
So what is the command basically which you use? I mean, any script which you will be running at the boot up?
So it's system control or okay, just system D. So system D is the daemon which will start Home Assistant on the boot. So let us configure the system D. So it says three things. We can install Home Assistant on virtual environment. We can also use Docker. So there are three things to install Home Assistant or to start up the Home Assistant at the boot. So we are going to follow the Python virtual environment because we are using Python virtual environment, right? So it says if you set up Home Assistant in virtual environment, following are the Python installation guides, that is, we have already done, or manual installation guide for Raspberry Pi, we have already covered that, right? The following template should work for you if Home Assistant is installed not located at SRV. Please modify exe start. So I think let us check first that this is the location where our Home Assistant has been installed. So let me just log in into one more screen because this is the screen where Home Assistant is already running. If I'll stop it, then it should create a problem. Let me see what history commands I've given.
Can you change the background?
Sure, I'll try to do that. Let me just log in into another window. Actually, I just forgot the password. Can you just
I
ping
have
me?
mailed you.
No.
Yeah, not mailed you.
It's not going.
I messaged you.
Sure. Got it. I cannot see. So SSH pi at team 5ddns.net. So it's not working over here.
Why?
No, but it was working over here. Command not found.
It's not responding, I guess.
It's responding. I think we have entered the SSH command leaving a space, and
Yeah.
Linux system is too finicky for all these things. It's very strict dealing with white spaces. So yes, we are in, and now we have to start this on boot. Let's see if this is installed over here. CD. Yes, so home assistant is installed in this folder only. Now we have to, how we can see that, okay. So when we give change directory to this folder, SRV home assistant, then we can see all those required directories are there, which has been include library. If it was not installed, there you would not have seen anything at this place, right?
Yeah, correct.
So now we'll go to this document. A service file is needed to control home assistant systemd, and the template below should create using a text editor. Note, root permissions via sudo will likely be needed. The following should be noted to modify the template. So for most of the systems, the file is this with your replaced, and then home system normally. Let me just see my documentation where it has been home assistant. Okay, so I've already done this, and so we have to create a new file. That means your user means home assistant. I'll just copy this and I will paste it over here. So I've already done that. So I have a documentation. I can share all these steps with you. But if you're following up with the video, I think that would be enough, and that would be good. So let me copy this and paste in this file. And we'll just exit from this file, save and exit. We'll see if the file is present. Just making sure of. So we can see, yes, this file is present. This has newly been created. We have already created a file. And if you want, you can also give in the cat command. Okay, we have to give sudo because this has command not found. Okay, sudo cat. Such file or directory. Oh, okay. Wait. We are not in that directory, right? Sudo cat. Yes. So this is done. Now let us stop the home assistant, restart your Pi, and then we'll see how does it go. So I'll just terminate this one. So home assistant has been terminated. Let us just run the daemon. Okay. It says sudo enable home assistant app. So this has already been given. So I'll enable this daemon so that and it has created a link.
Mhm.
Right, so this means that a symbolic link has been created, which will trigger our Home Assistant on startup. Now, to get Home Assistant logged out, simple use. Okay, so for checking the logs, you can see the journal. So it says journal control,
Mhm.
and you can see whatever is going on when we restart. So let me just restart your Raspberry Pi. So I'll just give sudo reboot. And the connection is closed.
Mhm.
Just let me know when your Raspberry is up.
You can do the ping. Just write ping.
Okay, so I can ping into your web
Ping
address, right?
team5.ddns.net. You can fire this command on the terminal, and you can check the status, current status.
Okay, ping. Then let me just log in if that has been up. Okay,
Yeah, it's up.
so I always forget your password. Let me just see that through again. So it's this. I think in meanwhile, I'll just learn your password instead. Log in again and again. Let me clear the screen. Now we have to check, right? So I've already told you that you can check
By
the logs when Home Assistant is going through. I'll just let you know one thing, as this has been written in Python. So Python is not a language, like it is not a language like C++ or Java, which compiles and then goes on. So it's a script. So we have interpreters. All the line of codes are interpreted one by one. So it must be like this, a little bit slower than I can say C++.
Mhm.
So let us start with the next step. So this has been completed. We'll check if our Home Assistant is running on the front end, going to the browser. So this was our Home Assistant, right? Let us just give. Okay, so we have accomplished a task. So whenever now you will log into your Raspberry Pi, or if it reboots by any instance, your Home Assistant is just going to be up in seconds, right?
Yeah.
So we have completed this. Let's see what is next in our agenda. So let me just open up Keynote. Next one is, can you give me 1 second? Hi, Guneet. I'm taking a session on Home Assistant. I'm live on YouTube. Can you join in via link and we can ask the questions over there? Huh? Great. You there? So I'll just share the link with you. Huh? Okay. So Raghavan, Guneet is also going to join us in the session. I'll just share the link with him. I think he can also give in some valuable inputs. Wait. I just shared my screen. Let me just stop it for a second. I was sharing my WhatsApp. So screen share, just stop it. And then I'll share a link with Guneet. I just forgot to share the link with him. That's really bad of me. I should have done that before.
He's in Chennai.
Yes, he's in Chennai. He's flying tomorrow to New Zealand.
Oh wow. So some project work.
Yes. Project. Okay, so I've shared him the link. He will be joining in some time. Okay, so again, you can see my screen. So we have already started up the Home Assistant on startup, and this has been accomplished. The next agenda would be installing Home Assistant. We have already done that. Then we'll start the Mosquitto MQTT. So this is the MQTT service, or we can say MQTT server, right?
I think there is a bit latency. Where?
Okay, so if you can see my screen, we are just going to start off with Mosquitto MQTT.
I can just see the, okay, Mosquitto MQTT. Okay.
You can see that, right?
Hmm.
So we'll install Mosquitto MQTT, which is a server which sends a small messages, or we can say messages, to our embedded devices, and that will enable us to communicate with all the things, right? With like which lights we have to turn on or which lights we have to turn off. So commands via Home Assistant to the Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi will pass on to the MQTT server the message, and Mosquitto server will pass on the message to our embedded devices, which in turn will react according to the messages, right? So let us install Mosquitto. So I've already documented that over here in my notes, Mosquitto. And we'll just go, we have already done the update and upgrade in the morning, so I don't think that is necessary to do that again. And this is just the logs. We can just come out from the logs as well, and we'll give a install sudo apt-get Mosquitto, right? And it will just fetch the Mosquitto.
Screen got hang. Okay. It's a bit latency is there. Anyways.
Okay, no issues. I think this video will be there on YouTube, and we can see as many times as we want. So there won't be any issues. I hope so that this should be working at my side well, right?
Maybe, I don't know. So Mosquitto, in meanwhile, I can ask, Mosquitto is a small server which will be sending the message from Raspberry Pi to the Node MCU?
Yes, so Mosquitto has been developed in Java, and this is the server which will communicate.
Okay.
So Mosquitto and Mosquitto clients have already been installed. Let me see if Guneet is going to join in or not. It's just called me. I am not able to join in. So we can see Mosquitto is installed. Now we'll just do the configuration, like we will give in the password and username to the Mosquitto server so that
the number you are calling,
give the authentication request as well, right? So this is the config file. We'll just open the config file. Okay, so we can see that this is the configuration, like default configuration. Now we are just going to paste in the password and the port where Mosquitto server will listen into. So we are saying allow anonymous, means that we should not allow everyone to just jump in and use our server. Whoever knows the password and the username, they can only like use our Mosquitto server. So let's paste that in, and then okay, let's save it. Control X, Y, enter. So we have edited the configuration file. Now we'll create a user for this one, right? So let's see. So sudo mosquito password.c password file is this.
Password file. What is this, Shashank? I mean, what we are trying to accomplish here? Sudo mosquito password.
This is the password, I think, which we are giving it. This is the username, and the password will be, it will ask the password. So let me just make a new user, and then we can give the username and password. So I will say what should be the username. So home
Team 5.
Team 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Team 5, and then it will ask password.
The same password which I gave you for login the file.
Okay. Okay, so the same password is for our Mosquito server as well. Now Mosquito is set up. We'll just test out Mosquito from our Home Assistant. Now there is a part where we have to go into the SFTP.
So Shashank, I have a question here. So basically, it is regarding like the Home Assistant. We have already configured the file to start at the boot. So for the Mosquito server also, we have to install it every time. I mean, restart the services.
So for Mosquito, they have already given in the installation files. Like Mosquito, it has already configured itself to start at boot. So we do not have to do anything for that.
So it will. So then, what is the purpose of username and password which you have set?
The username and password is going to the Mosquito, like connecting to the Mosquito server.
Okay.
Right. So when we are connecting our devices, then we have to give in the username password in the C++ code itself, so that we can connect to the Mosquito server, right? Okay. And it is not open.
Okay, correct. I got it. So this is the FileZilla you have opened right now.
This is the FileZilla which I've opened right now. So now I'm going to configure everything in the configuration file of Home Assistant. So this is my local system where you can see the Home Assistant files, but we are using your system. So we'll just go into your system and do that. Right?
Yeah. So do you want the host name, or you know?
Yes, I know. I need to know the host name. Team5.
.ddns.net.
.ddns.
DDNS.
Have we given in any username, or let us just do that?
So username won't be pi.
PSSWT. Assistant. No, we are going to log in to Home Assistant user, right? So I'm just resetting the password. I think Guneet has joined in. But he's not able to speak. I don't know why.
But I don't see him like.
I think he has just joined in as a guest. I will give him the invite so that he can be an active member of this.
So I haven't understood what you are doing here right now. Password, Home Assistant. I didn't get these commands.
So I got which one password? Let me just invite Puneet and then I'll answer
Okay.
your question. So Guneet is saying that he's not ready now. He'll just watch and listen to us. So it's okay.
He can turn his video off, but he can join like as a audio guy if he wants to. That's always an option.
He must be listening all these things, so he should reply. Guneet, you can give me a reply on WhatsApp, whatever you think. No need to turn on the video. Just being an active member means you can speak. So
Yeah, Guneet, you can, if you are listening to me, you can off your video. And
let me just send him. Let me just send him the invitation. So how did I do that? This one is the link. Okay, let it be. Let him watch. I'm not able to see where I can give him. Cameraman is this.
you can give him to his ID. Let me see.
So you want his ID. His ID is Guneet Singh 51592. Let me just forward that to you.
I have forwarded him the link.
I just forgot to stop the screen share while I was going through WhatsApp.
We can always blur that session later.
Let me see. Sure. I'll just keep this as private and then before going to public, I'll do that. I have to say that we have already given so many things out, my password and all. Okay, so let us continue from this side and let's see if. So we were there on the MQTT side. So we have already installed MQTT. And
actually, I had a question. So what you were doing, you were while FileZilla, you mentioned like password, Home Assistant, and what is this for?
Let me just enter the password.
So you are creating a new password?
I'm creating a new password for your Home Assistant so that I can log into Home Assistant. So it says team5ddns.net, username will be Home Assistant, and the password will be
Or let Guneet come.
What he's saying. Oh wow, I can connect it.
So I didn't get you what you did in between. So you created a new password. Can you brief that?
Yes. Let me just go through that. So actually what was going on is we have already set up a Home Assistant user, right?
Correct.
Now, I don't remember setting up a password for Home Assistant. So I just resetted the password for Home Assistant user so that I can log in.
Okay, cool.
So this is what I've done. Let me just clear the screen. So that has been completed, and I have given in the username, host name, password, and the port number, and I've already connected to the Home Assistant.
And port being 22?
22. That means SFTP, Secure FTP Protocol. Hi,
Okay.
Guneet, you're there? Can you listen to us?
I doubt that.
Okay. He can listen to us, but he's not able to speak out. No issues. So now let us begin with the automations and configuration in Home Assistant. So as you can see that we have so many files over here. We have to configure all the buttons and everything in the configuration file. So what I'll do, I'll just give a view.
So you are currently in Home Assistant, and .home assistant file.
Yes. So let me just go back. So this is your file. Let me just go back, if you're not got that. So I've just opened up the SFTP FileZilla, and then I've logged into Home Assistant.
Correct.
And then let me go up. You will see this path. So you have to go into .home assistant directory. That is a hidden directory. You won't be able to see that directly into your Linux system when you log in by terminal. So you can see that in the FileZilla, but you won't be able to see that in the Linux server because it's .file, and that means it's hidden. So I've already opened your file, and this is some of the basic things, or we can say.
Shashank, for this, can you change the theme or okay? Because it's not visible. I don't know. It won't be probably visible in the video also. Is there a way out to change it to a lighter theme at the background?
Done that. Let me see. So this is the Atom software which I'm using currently.
Okay, no issues, sir. We can go with the.
Okay. So we have to configure the MQTT broker, right? So this is my file. I'll just pick up the MQTT. And this is YAML file, YAML file. And how do we distinguish YAML file? This is the mother node, or we can say the parent node. And if we give a space, these all are the subnodes. So you can see we also get a drop down click where we can do up and down. So this means this is the mother node, and everything is inside this node. So you can see everything over. If you are doing a sensor, then you can configure all your sensors under this mother node. Then for MQTT, this is here, and for switches, we will have some switch. So what was your IP address, the local IP address? I hope it was 1.113.
119.
19. And the port is same. Leave the client ID as it is. The username was team 5, and I don't know how we'll enter the password over here now.
You know the same password, you can check your message.
I know the password, but this will be visible. So
if you don't share the screen for a while, and
yes, that's what I was trying to do. Or we can blur that out if anything has been.
Now it's okay. You can do it.
If it comes in between, I will recommend that we will do the same thing.
Yeah, blurring needs to be done later point of time.
So I'm just going to save it, and when I save it, a pop-up will be there. Okay.
You can share the screen now.
Again. So when I gave the save command, we'll see a pop-up in the FileZilla. We have to give yes, and it will just connect to the server and update the file. So starting to upload. Yes, so it has updated the file and our MQTT is set up. Now, how to test that our MQTT is working fine? This has been changed a little while. Okay, so how to check that? So I have one more software that says mqtt.fx.
MQTT.fx, okay. So this software is for?
This software is for checking up the MQTT server. So updates are available. Check for updates on application start. Application is not set. Okay. I've not used this in a while because when I was testing the MQTT server the first time, that is when I've only used it. And I don't think, let's see. No. Right. So let me add a new profile. So new profile name will be team 5. So this is, I'm doing this on my side, right? And
yeah.
You can do it on, or you can follow it up accordingly on your side. 168.1.119 is one line tidy. Let's generate orange light was okay. Let's generate a new client ID. It was sorry, team 5 192.168.1.19. Leave it as it is. Okay, let's give up. Where are the user credentials? Yes. So I have to enter the user credentials. So username was team5. And I don't know broker's address. This will go or not. Oh my God. Raghavan, you have to do this on your side because you have to do a port forward of 183 also if I would be using that.
Okay. So do you want me to port forward?
Not right. If you can in 2 minutes, then I can show it to you over here. Or let's leave it.
Okay. So what is this? Meanwhile,
at some point,
MQTT.fx.
Yes. So this will check your MQTT server, and I think that would be working fine. Let's check that out over here. So it's configuration. Oh. I'm just forgetting how we used to check.
Shall I have downloaded the software. Do you want me to check at my end? I can do that.
You can continue, and I'm just going to check it with Home Assistant so that it is working or not. So We can check by the Linux platform also. If you can go here, and then we have two windows. Okay, Raghavin, can we just continue the session after some time?
Okay.
I think I have to just run up. So in the meanwhile, you try to like test out the MQTT from the mqtt.fx. You have to give in the username and password, and you have to give in the IP address, and the port will be 183 only. And then just give in some commands. That is, you have to subscribe. You can give in as hello, and then you will see that into where we are going to publish that. So publish and subscribe. These are the main methods which we use over here. So let's try it out, and in the meanwhile, I'll just be back. So just give me approximately half an hour. There are some bank formalities which needs to be completed. Right?
Okay, no problem.
So, bye.
Bye.